Alright, so today we're going to be taking a look at the Imperial Navy Commander. I actually have here 3 different variations of him. The one all the way to the right is actually a very completely different figure on its own. That actually started off as the Vintage Death Squad Commander, which eventually evolved into the Death Star Commander, and sooner or later it became known as the Imperial Navy Commander. Next is the 30th anniversary release. His helmet's kind of pretty big for his head. Kind of looks like he's hiding under there. But yeah, that was a new one. That was one of the actual first ones that actually took that form. And this one right here, this is the vintage carded release. It's pretty much just a revamped version of the figure. And we're going to compare all 3 of these to our new one right here. Now, I will say one of the first things I noticed is it's essentially just a rebox of the vintage carded release. The black edition and the vintage carded release are so similar in so many ways. The only things that are different is a very tiny detailing on the molding, and even then not much is actually that different. It's all the same basic molding, the same holster, same belt, same paint job, no less. Like, we don't even get blessed with a different paint job, like we just get all the same stuff. The helmet's slightly more detailed. You could see that those little like alcove dot things are almost exactly alike. Now we're going to be taking a look at the back here in a bit, and you will see that it is the same again, like I mentioned. And I will say that I think what a benefit of this is that if you did have the vintage carded re-release, it's a good thing to buy the black edition, because if you had the vintage carded release and you opened it, or you don't want to open it but you want to have one of these figures opened, you can buy the black edition and do with it as you would please. Alright, so we're going to be taking a look at Clone Commander Wolffe because we didn't want the review to be too short. The first thing I will say is I do believe this is actually a new version of the figure. I've never actually seen him take this form before, and I do know of 2 other versions that they've released. However, I don't have them here to compare them to. He was featured in the Lost episodes of the Clone Wars cartoon series, and right off the bat, even in the packaging, you can see that it's nice detailing, but we're going to take a look at it right now. And like I said, really nice detailing. You could see the cloth, the inlines in the cloth between his armor points and such. And I will say the paint detailing is extremely extensive and amazing looking. And another thing is that little cape thing, I'm not sure entirely what to call it, it's made of a cloth, which I find awesome. I love it when they do that, because I hate that stiff plastic. It just doesn't look alright when it's plastic, and it looks so much nicer when it's the cloth, and it just flows so much better. It comes with 2 little blaster sidearms and a backpack, as you saw there. And I will say that it's very, very, very detailed paint-wise. You've got all kinds of different designs on the helmet there and on the shoulder pads, and right there you can actually see the hexagon shape where the bag would go into. And you can even see from just by looking at him that he has plenty of points of articulation. Now, I do want to mention that if you are looking for a head under that helmet, you will not find one. That helmet serves as his actual head. I made that mistake. I started looking for it and I just kind of popped it off by accident. But yeah, once you look at that, you see that it just serves as his head, and again, that ballpoint articulation. One thing I do want to make a note about that I've liked what they've been doing recently with a lot of the figures is they've been adding these usable holsters to it. I really, really like that because it gives it an extra sense of like design to it, and you can never really have enough design with these figures. And it's awesome because you can kind of store the guns on him. You don't have to worry about throwing guns around whenever you're messing with them or whatever. And when you set up for like a battle scene, it's another useful thing to have in the sense of realism. Now, obviously, realism can't go too far because it is an action figure. But overall, I think it's a really great addition that they've been adding to, and they've been doing it to a lot of the figures. I really, really do like that addition to the figure. Alrighty guys, thanks for watching, and this will be a video series, so be sure to check out the other ones on the channel later.